They see me as a monster, but maybe that's exactly what they needed. The imaginary camera pans over a devastated forest. The cracked ground pulses with red chakra. In the distance, a giant shadow leaps toward the sky as crimson lightning tears through reality. We're not in one universe. We're in all three. At once. Have you ever wondered what happens to a hero when their pain outweighs their purpose? When trauma speaks louder than the mission? Today, we dive into the souls of three characters who carry unimaginable power and pay an even greater price for it. Hulk, pure rage that smashes everything, including the peace Bruce so desperately seeks. Naruto, the rejected child who had to convince the world he wasn't the monster inside him. And Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch who can reshape reality, but lost her own in the process. Who suffers more? Who fights harder? Who is more broken and yet still stands? In the end, what weighs more, power or pain? The universe of superpowers is mesmerizing not just because of epic fights or stunning visuals. It's powerful because it shows us how the extraordinary can be born from suffering. Whether in anime, Marvel, or DC, the most iconic characters are often not the strongest, but the ones who've endured the most. In the Marvel world, beings like Hulk and Scarlet Witch aren't just heroes, they're reflections of trauma, fear, and loss. Bruce Banner is a brilliant scientist locked in a constant war with the monster inside him. Wanda is a woman who's lost everything: parents, brother, children, sanity, and whose grief rewrites reality itself. In the Naruto universe, chakra and ninja battles are just the surface. Underneath lies a story of acceptance, redemption, and isolation. Naruto Uzumaki was hated for something he never chose. He grew up alone, unloved, but never stopped smiling. And why does this matter? Because each of these characters reflects something we all face on some level. The conflict between what we feel and what we're expected to be. Between the role the world gives us and who we truly are. This isn't just a video about power levels. It's about who stayed standing the longest after being shattered. Three different worlds. One universal pain. Hulk. Bruce Banner never wanted to be a hero. He wanted to save lives through science. Not through smashing. But fate, or rather gamma radiation, had other plans. After a failed experiment, Banner became the Hulk, a creature of pure rage, strong enough to fight gods with his bare hands, but unable to embrace the ones he loves. Hulk is the physical manifestation of repressed pain. Every time Bruce tries to control the beast, he realizes Hulk isn't his opposite. Hulk is him, the part that screams when no one listens, that destroys when there are no words left. He's shattered cities, fought the Avengers, was exiled from Earth, and crowned king on another planet. But no battle compares to the war within himself. The most tragic part? Even when he saves the world, people still see a monster. Fun fact, in Planet Hulk, Bruce is finally accepted, but only as Hulk, not as a man. That's when he realizes there may never be peace between the two. Because Hulk isn't just rage, he's rejection. And every time he appears, it's like he's saying, "You didn't want me calm. Now deal with what you created." Naruto Uzumaki. From the very first episode, Naruto shows us who he is. A boy who yells because no one ever wanted to hear his voice. Carrying the Nine-Tails Fox inside him, the same beast that once destroyed his village. He was feared, shunned, ignored. He grew up hungry, alone, unloved, but never stopped chasing connection. Naruto could have become a villain. He had every reason to, but he chose differently. He chose to earn recognition, to prove he could. Protect, not destroy. Over time, he becomes one of the most powerful ninjas in history. He defeats legendary enemies, builds unbreakable bonds, and turns past rejection into fuel for the future. But the mark of pain never fades. It's there in every vow, in every friend he refuses to let go of. Fun fact, creator Masashi Kishimoto revealed Naruto was inspired by his own experience of loneliness. The character is, quite literally, a scream of resistance against indifference. Naruto reminds us that real power isn't the Rasengan. It's believing in yourself when no one else does. Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff. Wanda was born into chaos. In war-torn Sokovia, she lost her parents as a child, survived conflict, manipulation by Hydra, and gained powers even the gods barely understand. With her brother Pietro, she entered the Marvel Universe as a villain, but soon she became an Avenger. She fell in love with Vision, built a family, and for a brief moment, she was happy. Until she lost it all. Again. Wanda can alter reality with a thought, but the more she tries to fix the world, the more it breaks. In WandaVision, she creates an entire town from grief. A husband, children, a home, all imagined. All made of mourning. In Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, she dives headfirst into darkness. Not because she's evil, but because her pain has crossed all limits. She's not trying to conquer the world. She just wants her kids back. Fun fact, in the comics, Wanda is one of the most dangerous mutants ever. She once rewrote the universe with 3 words: no more mutants. She doesn't need to fight to win. She just needs to feel. The weight of trauma. When measuring who suffered more, it's not about counting losses. It's about how those losses shaped them. Bruce Banner lives an unbearable duality. His genius isolates him. His rage condemns him. He's constantly trying to stay in control. But one spark, and the monster takes over. His pain isn't a memory. It walks with him, sleeps with him, stares back at him in the mirror. Naruto grew up in pain too, but responded differently. The more rejection he faced, the more he sought connection. The difference? He had a dream. He wanted to become Hokage. That gave shape to his suffering. Hulk wants nothing but peace. Wanda wants back what she lost. Naruto wants to become something beyond his pain. Then there's Wanda. Her pain isn't just loss. It's reality collapsing. She watched her parents die, then her brother, then her partner, then the children she created from nothing. She's not battling a monster. She's battling time itself. Use of power, protection or destruction. Their powers are born from pain. But how they use them says everything. Hulk is raw destruction. Even when on the right side, his methods are catastrophic. He's a controlled earthquake. You never really know if he's helping or just delaying the next disaster. Naruto always channels his power to protect. Even before mastering Kurama's chakra, he'd risk his life for others. His fury was never the goal. It was always a bridge to love, to friendship, to home. Wanda starts with good intentions. But the line quickly fades. In WandaVision, she holds an entire town hostage to preserve an illusion. In Multiverse of Madness, she kills without hesitation, believing she's saving her children. In another universe, She doesn't want to destroy, but she does. Because her power reflects her pain. And her pain is infinite. Cultural and philosophical impact. Naruto is the triumph of hope. He's the archetype of the outcast turned leader. His story inspires countless people worldwide who've felt invisible. He shows us that you don't have to be defined by what's inside you, but by what you choose to do with it. Hulk is more complex. He's the symbol of repressed fury, of the monster we all carry, especially men, especially geniuses, especially those who try to stay calm at all costs. He forces us to ask, is controlling everything even healthy? Or are we all one step away from breaking? Wanda, finally, is the face of grief. Her pain is maternal, feminine, visceral. She's not just a sorceress. She's a woman trying to rebuild an impossible life. That's why her impact is so deep. She confronts us with the raw truth of loss and survival. And now the question that no one really wants to answer. If you had the choice, would you carry their power or their pain? We've seen three nearly godlike characters, but they all scream the same truth. The greater the power, the deeper the void. Hulk was exiled from his own planet. Naruto had to win over a village that hated him. Wanda was called a threat by the very world she tried to reshape with love. Here's the twist. None of them chose this. The power came as a curse before it became a gift. But what defines them isn't the strength. It's what they kept alive inside after everything. Naruto held on to hope. Hulk, beneath everything, kept his sense of justice. Wanda still believes in love. This isn't about who would win in a fight. It's about the fact that they're all survivors. And that's harder than any battle. So here we are, at the end of this multiversal journey. But the question still echoes. What weighs more? Power that destroys, or the pain that defines you? Bruce Banner became the symbol of inner conflict, where the real enemy lives inside. Hulk is repressed pain, roaring because no one listened. Naruto turned rejection into belonging. He became the leader his world once feared, not by erasing his pain, but by walking beside it. And Wanda pushed grief to its breaking point. The Scarlet Witch doesn't want to rule. She wants to remember what it felt like to be whole. In the end, they represent three sides of the same coin. Hulk is collapse. Naruto is resilience. Wanda is disintegration. There's no clear answer. We're not here to crown the strongest or the most broken. We're here to understand what lies behind the power. And maybe, just maybe, the greatest power of all is to keep going, even when everything inside says you can't. If this journey helped you see these characters in a new light, you know what to do. Like this video if you've ever felt shaped by your own pain. Comment below. Which of these three do you relate to most? Hulk, Naruto, or Wanda? Subscribe to the channel for more deep dives like this. Every week, new multiversal showdowns. Share this with that one friend who lives for epic anime Marvel DC debates. And if you enjoyed this one, don't stop here. Watch The Mask of Vengeance. Is Itachi or Moon Knight more broken? Where pain becomes vengeance in two haunted universes. Or check out The Perfect Mentor, Kakashi versus Professor X versus Alfred, and find out who really guides heroes from the shadows. Because here at Multiverse Mirrors, it's not about who wins the fight. It's about what each universe reveals about us.